So converting between degrees and radians. So angles can also be measured in units based on arc length. So if you look at the diagram, you can see that the angle, so theta, is 1 radian. So we know that the circumference of a circle is 360 degrees. And we also know that this is 2 pi. So 360 is equal to 2 pi. So a semicircle, half a circle, is 180. So this is equal to pi. So let's have a look at the formula to convert between degrees and radians. So degrees and radians. So we can just multiply the number of degrees by, and we got pi radians divided by 180 degrees. We also have then from radians to degrees. So to do that, we're going to multiply the number of radians by 180 degrees divided by pi radians. So let's just change my pen and we'll have an example. So an example would be minus 30 and we'll have 5 over 2 pi. So the minus 30 we need to convert from degrees into radians, and the 5 over 2 pi from radians to degrees. So we're going to do minus 30 first. So we're going to do minus 30 multiplied by pi radians divided by 180 degrees. So that's not okay, and we're looking for common factors. So we can divide 30 once, and 30 will go into this 6 times. So we've got minus 1 pi, or minus pi over 6. So that is radians. So let's have a look at the second one. So we have 5 over 2 pi, and we need to multiply this by 180 divided by pi radians. So the radians will simplify. So these will simplify. And now we can divide. So how many 2's in 2? 1. How many 2's? 90. So 5 times 90 is 450. So we can say 5 over 2 pi is equal to 450 degrees. So let's have a look at another example. So actually guided practice. So we have 120 degrees. And we need to convert that into radians, and we have 4b is minus 3 pi over 8. So the first thing we need to do is write down pi radians divided by 180. Okay, this is the formula. So we're going to multiply it by the degrees, and we're going to look for our common factors. So we can divide both by 60. So 60 will go into that twice, and 60 will go into 183 times. So we're left with 2/3 pi radians. So we can say 120 degrees is equal to 2 over 3 pi radians. Let's have a look at the second one. So the formula, Then we're going to use 180 degrees divided by pi radians. And we're going to multiply this by minus 3 over 8 pi. So the first thing we can do, simplify the pi radians. And now we're looking to divide common factors 8 and 180. So 4 will divide into both. So 4 will go into this twice, and 4 will divide into this 45 times. So minus 3 times 45 is going to be minus 135 divided by 2. So this is actually going to be minus 67.5 degrees. So we can say minus 3 over 8 pi is equal to minus 67.5 degrees. Now there's a key concept for degrees and radians. So I'm going to see if I can draw this. So I'm going to have my circle, and I'm going to label this. This is, okay, so this is my 0, my 90, my 180, and my 270. Now I'm going to split. Let's do it in purple. So I'm going to split each section, if I can, into 4. Excuse me, not very straight. Okay, so right, we said, okay, that we know that a full circle is 2 pi, and we know that half a circle is pi. So this is what we got so far. So on our degrees, we'll write that. Let's do that first. I'll write this in green. So our degrees. So if we have half of this way here, this is 45. And half, so in between 45 and is 60, and we have 30. So you can see we're incrementing each section. So 30, 45, 60, and then we have 90. So we're going to have 120, 135, 150. Then we're going to have 210, 225, and 240. 300, 315, and 330, and then this will be 360, which is a full turn. And in the center is, I'm going to put 0 here. Now if we go to the degrees, so we start off with, said 2 pi here, but we've got 0, okay, as well. So we're going to start from 0. So the first one is going to be pi over 6. And then pi divided by 4. Pi divided by 3. And this is pi divided by 2. Now you can see the 180 divided by 2 is 90. So that's pi divided by 2. So 2/3 pi. So 3/4 pi. 5 over 6 pi and pi. Then we've got 7 over 6 pi. 5 over 4 pi. 4 over 3 pi, and then 3 over 2 pi, 5 over 3 pi, 7 over 4 pi, and 11 over 6 pi. So if we chose 1 or 2 to actually to check, we would have, so let's have a look. So let's say, which one haven't we done? Let's try 210 degrees. So 210 degrees, and we want to convert this to radians. So the formula is 210 multiplied by pi radians and divide by 180. So we can divide them both by 30. So 30 will go into this 7 times and 30 will go into this 6 times. So our answer is 7 over 6 pi. So if we look, 7 over 6 and 7 over 6.